That's why there's no whistle on that play.
Sacramento has started 1 of 4 from the field. And Divac over Irvin Johnson.
Those are the shots I talked about in the open. The big men are going to have open jump shots. Vlade, Brad Miller, Chris Webber. They need to shoot a high percentage for Sacramento to win.
Here comes Cassell, who's hit only 1 3-point shot since game 1. Garnett. Sprewell for 3.
Cannot make those kind of plays on the road in a big game. Keep it simple. Make the simple pass. Those kind of plays give you extra possessions. If you're Minnesota at home, that's what you're looking for.
There's a turnover story as the Timberwolves have started the game 2 of 6 from the floor. And Cassell, Divac came over with a flash of defense, and the shot clock is at 3. Webber with the rebound.
You can see Sam there, not very mobile, very stiff with that move. And if he's going to over dribble and play like that, he's going to get his team in trouble. He's going to have to move that basketball.
Webber with a nice pass into Divac. And here comes Cassell. Sprewell, who has averaged over 30 points the last 2 games. Divac the rebound. The Kings are +1 in that category. Christie will play some point tonight when Bibby rests. And here comes Bibby in a lot of white jerseys. Another turnover.
You really see Sam Cassell really laboring right now to get up and down the floor. It's going to be interesting to see how long he can go. But he didn't even get across half court on that play. And I think that Rick Adelman is going to say, we need to talk about this. We're careless. We're sloppy. We've got a chance to have the lead, and we're turning the ball over.
Take us inside the head of Kevin Garnett right now. What is he going through?
You know, Kevin, it's very interesting that you bring up that I had the same passion as Kevin Garnett. But the challenge tonight is, can he harness and channel all that energy and emotion better than game 1? Also, you have to add in mind, today marks the anniversary of the death of his best friend, Malik Sealy. And Kevin and Doug, if he can harness all this energy, and a win tonight would only solidify why he is one of the top 3 players in the world.
This is where MVPs are defined, Doug, in the playoffs.
And absolutely. And you know what? He doesn't have to do it by scoring 30-plus points. You know, 20-plus points, 20 rebounds, the assists, the block shots, all the intangibles he brings. When he tries to score too much, sometimes he turns the ball over and shoots a lower percentage. So he's a guy that can dominate the game in so many different ways, and his teammates feed off of everything that he does, Kevin.
Irvin Johnson just picked up a quick foul for the Timberwolves. Here's Divac again. And Peja Stojakovic, who has been cold in these playoffs, continues that way. Sprewell with the rebound.
Well, Trenton Hassel's done a great job getting a hand in his face. That's the reason he's shooting so poorly. Every shot is contested.
A lot of nervous energy in this game.
And that's what you would expect. That's why they're not shooting well, and there's a lot of turnovers. They'll settle down.
It's Johnson from point-blank range. Twice he has a shot at it. Minnesota has missed their last 7 shots of the game.
Now watch the last part of this play. He gets a hand. He gets beat on the, but watch him get up a hand in the face. Your percentage goes down about 20% when you get a hand on a contested shot. That's how important it is to get a hand up on a very good shooter.
He's shooting 37% is Stojakovic in this series against Minnesota. Ball rotation to Hassel and across the lane and out to Kevin Garnett. Garnett looks sharp. He has started 2 of 3.
Well, I like what Hassel did there. He didn't settle for the long-range shot. He dribble penetrated. I think Minnesota's taken too many threes in this series. They're not a big three-point shooting team. 10 during the regular season, over 17. They've got to get to the line more.
And they're going up against the #1 three-point shooting team in the regular season. Some dancing by Webber, counted for 2. His first 2 of the game. KG picks up the foul. And that breaks somewhat of a drought for the Sacramento Kings from the field.
Well, good footwork here by Chris Webber, and he has to use shot fakes. Kevin Garnett is a shot blocker. Chris Webber does not have great lift now. And if you take a look at his legs, Kevin, he has a little bit of a sleeve he's wearing on his left leg, and on his right leg, he got a bruised calf in Game 5, and he's wearing something on his right calf, so his legs are not right at this moment.
Terrific shot by Sam Cassell.
He loves to take smaller players down into the post. Early offense, loves to get down there, shoot this little fading jump shot. Looked much better on that shot. Looked like he had more lift than we've seen here early in the game. And maybe as the game goes on, he will settle in and his back will loosen up. But got a lot of nerves right now. Sam Cassell has 2 championship rings with Houston. Latrell Sprewell played in the NBA Finals with New York. They have big game experience to help in moments like this.
Well, Doug, I got to believe with the bad back that affects his shot. His legs as he tries to get some elevation. Christie taking it inside.
Now, see, this is what Sam's got to stay away from. He's been very emotional the last few games. He's fouled out of 2 of the last 3. He had 5 fouls in the other game. He had a couple technical fouls. He's got to stay away from this tonight. They need him to play with passion, but to play smart.
It's Stojakovic. Back out to D-backs. They got a first 24-second shot clock. Weber, nice screen from Mike Bibby. Rebound by Sam Cassell. Sacramento is 2 of 10 shooting tonight. Garnett.
Now Kevin shooting the ball with great rhythm. He hit his first shot on the floor. He stepped out, hit 2 open jump shots. Really in a nice rhythm.
And D-Box fumbling it away. Out of bounds he goes. That's 4 Sacramento turnovers in this game.
See, this is why you play all season long to get the home court. Moments like this, Sacramento in Game 6 was flawless with their passing. They moved the ball. They hit the open man. They shot 50% from the floor, 56% from 3. You can already see here, being on the road here, how they are disjointed here early in this game.
So Brad Miller comes in for the first time, and D-Box will sit. Remember the short Sacramento bench with the Anthony Peeler suspension. They kick it to Sprewell, who's picked up by Christie. Shot clock at the point. And inside, it's Weber. So on Stojakovic. One of the big adjustments Minnesota made in this series, putting Sprewell on Bibby, and Christie for 3.
Again, the penetration. Bibby did a nice job. He took his dribble. He let the big man come off the pick and roll, and then he continued into the lane. Cassell once again in the lane. Both the point guards now really get into a rhythm here early in this game.
Reminds me of Game 1 in this series. And Miller to Christie again. 2 in a row.
Well, he's capable of having big nights. We know that. He's hit some critical shots in this series. Remember, at the end of Game 1, hit a big 3-point shot to help seal the deal here for Sacramento.
His shooting statistics aren't very good, Christie's, but his numbers, his production is. Hassel with the later right to Stojakovic.
Open mid-range jumper, getting the ball into the heart of the defense, and Garnett finding the open man.
Bibby is 0 of 2. Christie intercepted by Kevin Garnett. 5 Sacramento turnovers. Sprewell. Also got it. And a Kings foul inside.
That's when Latrell Sprewell is his most dangerous. When you get into open court situations where he can use his speed. We saw it here in Game 5 when he was playing at a different level than anybody else on the floor. We saw it in Game 6. Tonight he's gotten off to a slow start, but he must keep attacking.
Madsen comes in. Irvin Johnson is out, so they lessen their size a bit, but they sure get a lot of defensive hustle and energy with Madsen.
They got to keep him off the offensive boards. That's what he does best.
Sprewell, Hassel with the offensive rebound.
Hustle plays. Second shots.
And the Timberwolves have their biggest lead tonight.
Well, when we talked to Rick Allen before the game, this is exactly what he didn't want to have happen. His team dig a hole here in the first period.
Sacramento 4 of 12. Chris Webber. How do you see Webber fitting into tonight in the context of this offense and the severity of this game?
He's a catch-and-shoot player now, so he's going to depend so much on guys getting him open shots in rhythm.
And Cassell continues his hot streak, 4 of 6. And Sam Cassell with the game-high 9 points.
Well, he's gone away from that three. He's in the mid-range game now where all of a sudden he's getting the better lift on his shot rather than shooting the ball so deep on the floor.
And Stojakovic with Hassel on him, and a quick hand check on Trenton Hassel. His first.
Timeout situation when he goes to the bench. He's wearing these wires that are padded up and they hook up the machine. It's an electrical stimulator to try to keep the spasms down in his back. I can tell you from personal experience, the more the ball goes in the basket, the less that back hurts.
Timberwolves, Doug, have taken 7 more shots from the field than Sacramento.
Well, they've got 20 shots at the basket, 13 for Sacramento. The more shots at the basket, the better chance of winning. 5 turnovers already for Sacramento and 4 offensive rebounds from Minnesota. They're more aggressive.
Neither team made a move after that timeout as Kevin Garnett vacuums in his 4th rebound tonight. And Cassell with the game-high 9. Timberwolves are shooting 45%, hitting 7 of their last 10 shots.
It's very difficult to play a smaller guard on Sam Cassell because he's a very good low-post player, and he loves to get down there and play in the low post, and then they'll start double-teaming, and he'll free up shots for his teammates.
We just saw Rodney Buford set the check in. Minnesota's on a 10-4 run. Weber against Garnett.
See, Kevin, one of the things when you're Sacramento, you're short-handed. So when you dig yourself a hole, it's very difficult for Rick Adelman to sub and take his best players out because you're playing in from behind. That's why it's so important that Sacramento get off to a good start.
Cassell with a Stojakovic rebound. And in this game, it's Minnesota plus 4 in that category. Brad Miller and Manson quickly on him.
Miller not a crowd favorite. You remember Derek Martin in Game 5. The two of them both got ejected in a little skirmish.
Mike Bibby is 0 of 3 from the field so far. Threw up an air ball right there. Garnett. Hassel.
Hassel had an open 10-footer. Put it on the floor, made it a tougher shot. He should have shot it the minute he caught it.
Miller off the bench is not taking a shot as Christie unleashes. Both teams in the foul on Christie.
And that's going to be Bibby's second foul.
Right. Bibby picks it up.
And again, Kevin, they're playing short-handed. Rodney Buford into the game. Now remember, Mike Bibby picked up fouls in Game 6, had to set out all but 4 minutes of the third quarter. So they have really struggled when he has been on the bench or in foul trouble in this series. So we'll see how they play now with Mike Bibby in foul trouble.
And this brings in the first real taste of the Peeler suspension. Out for 2 games tonight. And a charge on the Timberwolves, and it goes on Cassell. Make it Maxson away from the ball.
Well, this was the Game 6 situation where Kevin Garnett and Anthony Peeler, 2 very good friends, got caught up. Couple elbows. Peeler throws one to the head and is suspended for 2 games. Stojakovic unloads a 3, so they have fought themselves back, trailed by only 5.
The Timberwolves have not hit above the arc. And Sprewell with Garnett setting a screen. Fred Hoiberg in the game for the first time. And Garnett over Weber. And a foul on Chris Weber. Just to finish up on the Peeler story, I talked today with Stu Jackson from the NBA office, and he said the 2-game suspension was because of the totality of those actions, the shot in the gut and then to the head. He said it was not a suspension for the first move and a suspension Game 2 for a second hit. It was the totality of it. And he said that the key was Peeler going over the shoulder and hitting him in the head. And he said we just can't, because of the injury factor, the NBA cannot tolerate that.
Absolutely, and it was the severity with which he threw the elbow, and if Sacramento advances, he would have to miss Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. But Garnett, it's important he gets to the free throw line. It's amazing in the wins and the losses When he gets to that line and the wins about 9 times a game, only 3 in the losses, so he has got to be aggressive.
Foul to give for Minnesota. Great defense by Garnett. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter where the Timberwolves shot 43%. Sam Cassell with the electric stim on that bat, which has been a nuisance these entire playoffs. Coming up big with the great start, 5 of 8. Kevin Garnett has started like the MVP that he is.
Well, we talked about being his all-round game. You see the pass. He gets in the lane. He finds the open shooter. Backs down Chris Webber. This was his first shot of the game that he knocked in. His rebounding. And then his steals, his defense. He's filling up the stat sheet, stepping out, shooting the jump shots. It's his all-round brilliance that has made him the MVP. First quarter, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and more importantly, no turnovers. He's off to a great start.
And the other big name in this game is Mike Bibby on the Sacramento bench with no points, 2 fouls, and a single assist. Rodney Buford is in with Stojakovic, Miller, Divac, and Christie. Starting the second quarter, Madsen is on Miller. Stojakovic. And a Kevin Garnett rebound, and that is number 7.
Sacramento's got to do a better job screening Hassel to free up Stojakovic. It's only his 3rd shot attempt of the game. He needs to get 20 field goal attempts.
And the guard comparison with Cassell winning that battle. Sam is still on the bench, as is Bibby. Here is Hoiberg with Sprewell, Garnett, Hassel, and Madsen to begin the second quarter. 3 to shoot for Garnett. Kevin is 3 of 5.
Now Christie is the primary ball handler with Mike Bibby being down, as you talked about. But when Bibby's out, they have struggled to run their offense smoothly.
And Christie for 2. Stojakovic with an offensive rebound and a dish to Christie inside. Garnett knocking it away and finally taking it out of the air. A 4-on-1. And Sprewell can't catch up with the pass.
Well, Sprewell tried to do something before he caught the basketball. It looked like he was looking back, but look at Garnett. He just sort of bluffs at the shot block there, and then he goes up and catches the ball out of the air. Watch him go up, rides the top of the elevator, and just takes the ball out of the air.
He picked the top floor of the penthouse to get that one.
Yes, he did, but we know he can afford a penthouse, that's for sure.
And Buford with the miss, Madsen with the rebound. Minnesota has not scored from the field in over 4 minutes, going back to the first quarter. Garnett. He's missed 2 in a row.
He's getting a little tired. Clippers going to have to maybe give him a little bit of a rest here.
Christie lasers one inside. Stojakovic. Is he tired?
Another layup miss. That's 3 layups here early in the game. Page has missed a couple. We just saw Doug Christie miss 1. I think you're going to see Irvin Johnson come in right now to give Kevin Garnett just a little bit of rest.
And Serbiak's going to come in for some offense as Hoiberg misses the shot. Stojakovic grabs onto his 6th rebound. And here come the Kings, Doug, who are 0 of 6 so far in the early stages of this second quarter.
Well, they have to be very fortunate. They're only down 6 points right now. And you can see they're going to Page on every possession here to try to get him some shots.
Good screen by Miller for Stojakovic. The shot just is not there. 1 of 6 for Page.
Well, Hassel's done a nice job. That was an open shot. He normally makes those, but most every other shot has been under duress.
Hoiberg has had a great series. Garnett again. Kevin's got a couple of assists. Sprewell for 3.
Well, Sprewell has struggled from the floor. Shot clock winding down. Christie looked like he was going to fake a timeout there. Rick Adelman wanted a timeout. That shot of Sprewell pushing it back to a 9-point lead.
Welcome back to the Target Center at the end of the first quarter. This was Sam Cassell. What a lot of people do not realize is the left side of his hip that started his back problems. And during the end of the first quarter, he was icing the left side of his hip and also his back. The interesting thing, Kevin and Doug, he told me yesterday is, why complain about a sore back? It's not going to help anything. He said, just try to keep me out of tonight's game. He has been extremely effective, guys.
Really gets a lengthy rest right there.
Kevin, I'll give you some numbers here. We played a little over 15 minutes. Sacramento's missed 18 shots. They have no second chance points. They have no fast break points. And they have no free throws. So they've done nothing to make up for their poor shooting. They're very fortunate they're only down 9.
And Doug, Sacramento only has 16 points in 15 minutes. It's Buford. Rebound by Hoiberg. They got Wally Szczerbiak in now. And Garnett is taking a breather with Sprewell on the Minnesota bench. Mike Bibby is back in the game with an 0 of 3 start. And Hoiberg to Szczerbiak. Buford defending. The slot normally held for Anthony Peeler on that end. And the Timberwolves have their biggest lead tonight.
That wasn't pretty, but he worked very hard for that. You can see Derek Martin now is not the backup point guard. They're going with Hoiberg and Szczerbiak in there with Cassell, so he wants his better players on the floor.
It's a better lineup as Hoiberg just picks up a foul. The Sacramento Kings are shooting 27%. They've missed their last 8 from the floor.
But you've got to do some hustle plays. They've got 2 baskets in the paint, no free throws. I mean, you've got to make something happen at the rim. Everything's a jump shot.
And Divac grinding inside against Irvin Johnson. We still go back, though, to Mike Bibby. That's the second on Irvin Johnson, the starting center for the Timberwolves, because when Bibby goes, this whole team benefits. He sets up Stojakovic, he sets up Weber, and his own game then develops very nicely.
Well, he makes the game easier for everybody else. And Kevin Garnett, we talked about it in the open. He said, if we can control Bibby, we can win the game. And right now they're doing that, and they have an 11-point lead.
And here's Vlade Divac at the line. The playoffs continue Friday night here on TNT. Game 1 Western Conference Finals between the Lakers and the winner of tonight's game. It's exclusive coverage on TNT as you see Dick Bavetta. The horn sounded just as Vlade was getting ready to put that shot in the air from the stripe. Kings tonight 1 of 2 from the line. Minnesota 2 of 3.
You can see the importance of Mike Bibby staying out of foul trouble because Christie now is resting. He's got to get a little bit of a rest, and you have to have Mike Bibby on the floor with Rodney Buford. You need a ball handler. Buford can do a good job defensively. He can make some shots, but he can't run your team. And that's where they really miss Bobby Jackson with that backup point guard situation. It's really put them in a hole now, especially with Peeler being out.
Take a look at Bobby Jackson, who continues to work out, but in civvies tonight, here comes Sam Cassell with the game-high 11. Timberwolves' 5th turnover. Stojakovic for 3. Hoiberg with the rebound.
See, Bibby is playing Hoiberg, and Rodney Buford is playing Cassell, so they're resting Bibby off the ball so he won't pick up his 3rd foul.
Cassell. And Bibby's got the ball, and he leads his team the other way, looking for Sacramento's first field goal in over 5 minutes. Quite a drought. The mismatch on Johnson. And Bibby is 0-4. Another Hoiberg, Minnesota rebound.
When Sacramento doesn't get the ball to the weak side of the floor and they quick shoot it, they play right in the hands of Minnesota. And that's when we talked to Rick Adelman before the game. We got to move the basketball. Tonight it's stuck on one side of the floor.
Szczerbiak. And tapped out, and Szczerbiak gets it on the volleyball. Timberwolves 2 of 7 from the field in this quarter. And Szczerbiak has given Minnesota a lead of 12. He's got 4 off the bench. Here come the Kings, 0 of 10 from the floor in the second quarter. Mike Bibby with a foul on Mark Madsen. Madsen picks up his 2nd personal foul of the game.
You know, if there was a shining light in Game 6 for Minnesota, it really was Wally Szczerbiak. He struggled all years with injury. We did a game early in the year in San Antonio when he was first coming back, and it was garbage time. He played the second half and had a big second half, and Flip Saunders thought that propelled him to start playing well. He had a great second half the other night in a blowout game. They're hoping that that will be the same scenario that will play over for him. Remember now, they struggled when they started getting Szczerbiak back and Michael Olowokandi and all the guys from injury, they went through that little period that Sacramento went through when Weber came back from injury. So they're hoping that the second half of Game 6 served as a way for Wally Szczerbiak to get himself back in the flow with his offense.
And just as he was feeling good about his game, he broke those small bones in the lower part of his back in the Denver series. Sam Cassell, a Szczerbiak offensive rebound, keeping it alive with a corkscrew move. And the Timberwolves have their biggest lead again as the Kings take it the other way with only 2 points this quarter. Brad Miller, 2%. It's Garnett. Buford with the rebound.
Minnesota's doing a better job moving the basketball right now than Sacramento. They're making the extra pass. Their shots are not as contested. Every shot that Sacramento shoots now is a contested shot.
Here's Weber back out on the floor. 7 minutes for Sacramento without a field goal until that one nailed by Mike Bibby, his first hit of the game from the floor. 1 of 5 for Bibby, and breaks a drought of 7 minutes and 6 seconds for the Kings. Szczerbiak and Bibby are an interesting matchup down low, and Szczerbiak just picked up a foul, pushing off on Bibby.
Well, see, Bibby can get away playing Hassel because Hassel's not a primary offensive player. When Szczerbiak comes in the game, he has to guard him.
We came into this game, we came into this series thinking about Mike Bibby and what his numbers meant to Sacramento's success.
Well, he's off to a 1 for 5 start, only 1 assist and 2 turnovers.
5 minutes to play as Weber tries to get it inside. It's loose and rolling out of bounds and kicked out of play by Minnesota. We've got 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Sacramento was 8 of 30. They've missed 22 shots and only have 3 offensive rebounds. So when you're not shooting well, you've got to manufacture some points. They only have 20 points here early in this first half.
Doug Christie now gets the breather on the bench. It's Sprewell racing the other way. Garnett, Irvin Johnson. With right in front, Irvin Johnson missing again, 0 of 3.
That's how unselfish Kevin Garnett is. I mean, he should have taken that shot, and he throws it to Irvin Johnson, who's really a non-shooter.
And now Garnett goes against Bibby, and Buford wide open for 3. And a good offensive rebound by Miller and a 3 by Bibby. And that goes in, and he is now hit 2 in a row.
Second chance point. You miss the shot, you get an offensive rebound, you kick it out to Bibby, and they've clawed back to 8. So right now Minnesota cannot have a letdown. We know Sacramento has the ability to come roaring back.
They had no lead changes and no ties in this game. Timberwolves have led by 13. Kings have never led. Shot clock is down to 5 for Szczerbiak.
See, Bibby can't guard him down there in the post. He can guard Hassel because they won't go to him. Szczerbiak is a primary offensive player, so with him being healthy, that changes their matchup. You can't hide Mike Bibby with fouls.
Szczerbiak off the bench with 8 points. They got Sprewell on Bibby and a foul called on Latrell Sprewell. Truth be told, Sacramento only has 1 true point guard, and that's Bibby right there. Early foul trouble with 2. When he's out, like you mentioned before, it becomes a bit stagnant on their offensive end.
Well, you see what it's done. I mean, they're shooting 28%. They're 2 of 5 from the foul line. No fast break points. They've hit a 3 second chance points. They haven't gotten to the free throw line except for 2 made free throws. So right now they're being out hustled.
Doug Christie is back in, and Weber is wide open.
No lead is safe with either one of these teams. We've seen some unbelievable things in games 1 and 2 already in this series and in game 3.
Here come the Timberwolves, whose offensive game is based on efficiency. And tonight, they've got 6 assists and 15 made field goals.
Got to go back to Szczerbiak. If they double team, it'll free up an open shooter.
This time, Szczerbiak takes it inside, and Christie comes out of there with it. Christie to Stojakovic, and Miller off the wing, and a Minnesota foul. And Irvin Johnson picks up his 3rd personal for the Timberwolves.
This is where Rick Adelman hopes all the big games this team has played in will kick in. They've gotten off to a bad start, but they've played in a lot of big games. They've played on the road. They've had their heart broken on many occasions. This is when they really have to pull together. And as poorly as they played in the first half, Kevin, if they can be within 6 points, they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, Doug, third consecutive year they played in a 7-game series. Losing the last 2 to the Lakers in 0-2 in the Western Conference Finals as Johnson is now on the bench and Manson has taken his place. And Miller hits.
The game with the Lakers, the 7th game at home, that's the one that sticks with this team.
They still talk about it,
that
right.
was the crusher. You see Jeff Petrie, who's done a magnificent job here, but so many questions about this team. If they lose this series, where are they heading? Got a lot of older players on this team. This team is built to win right now.
Points by Miller is the first bench point of the game. Cassell, Garnett, and right through the hands of Mark Manson, who has had a wonderful series for the Timberwolves. We're taking a look at the top 6 players in this game, the big 3 from each team.
Well, you look at the combined shooting for the Sacramento, 7 of 19. Stojakovic, 1 of 7. Bibby, 2 of 6. So they're a combined 3 of 13. Weber, 4 for 6. And then Sprewell, Garnett, and Cassell, what they have done. Garnett and Cassell shooting it well. Sprewell only 1 of 6.
There's a 7-point difference in the game. 7 points separating the big 3 from each team. And there's Manson on Miller. Screen for Bibby for 2. Rebound by Kevin Garnett, who now has 12 rebounds in the game for Minnesota. And the Timberwolves are +8 in rebounding tonight. Sprewell. Latrell Sprewell has 5 points. Only one player in this game in double figures. That's Sam Cassell's 11 points. Brad Miller, more bench points. Hits a 2. He's got 3 for the game.
That shot there is there for their big men. Remember, when Bibby gets inside, the big men are plugging the lane for Minnesota, and that jump shot will be there. That's what Rick Adelman talks about, getting the ball to the weak side of the floor.
Garnett 3 of 7. Miller draws a foul.
Minnesota's whole thing is keep Bibby out of the lane. Well, when he gets in the lane, watch what happens. Madsen steps in to help, and look who's wide open, Brad Miller. That's the shot we talked about in the open. That will be there if Sacramento will have patience, take their time, and get the ball to the other side of the floor.
Here's Garnett at the free throw line, who has only been averaging 6 free throw attempts a game in this series. And here is his 3rd attempt tonight at an all-access look at the NBA playoffs. Tune into the NBA TV playoff show Destination Finals. It's every weeknight at 6 p.m. only on NBA TV. He's got to take more than 6 a game.
Well, be aggressive, go to the bat. He's so good at leaping away from contact. Sometimes you got to jump in and you got to make the referees blow the whistle.
Cassell trying to guard Christie. Knocked away with another Sacramento turnover. They now have 8. Minnesota has 7.
That passing lane is not there. The opposite big man from Minnesota is dropping back and taking away their layups. That's their game plan.
Bibby on Sprewell with the mismatch here. Serbiak, whose inside game tonight has been fun to watch. Normally a perimeter player. Stojakovic picks up the foul. As Serbiak has energized the Timberwolves off the bench with 8 points in 8 minutes.
But see, the problem you have now is Mike Bibby has got to either play Cassell, Serbiak, or Sprewell. Every one of those guys can score, so now you can't hide him on a Hassel or a Hoiberg off the basketball. So now they have a mismatch, and they're going to that every opportunity. Whoever Mike Bibby's guarding, they're trying to go in the post and create a mismatch.
So here's Serbiak at the free throw line with his first attempt tonight from the stripe. And in this series, Serbiak is now 7 of 8 as they take out Madsen. They bring in Gary Trent. Madsen again gives him quality minutes off the bench. He heads there with a couple rebounds and some nice defense.
You know, it's amazing how coaches know their players. Yesterday, Wally Serbiak had a great practice. Flip Saunders said, I was very confident he was going to have a great game tonight, and he is.
Including 3 offensive rebounds for Wally Serbiak. Weber. Stojakovic. Deflected with the shot clock at 5 for Doug Christie around Kevin Garnett. That was a hard shot. Sal and Serbiak, the only players in this game in double figures. No fouls to give either way. Kevin Garnett. And Miller with the rebound off the bench. He's collected 3.
They get a quick 2-for-1 here. Bibby pulls up and shoots the shot quickly.
He tries, he's inside. They let him penetrate, something that is against the rules against Sacramento. Don't let him get in the lane. And the foul goes on Trent for the first time.
Well, when you play Peja Stojakovic, you have got to stay. You got to keep chasing him. You got to stay on that right hand and make him be a passer. And that's exactly what Wally Szczerbiak did on that play. We've seen Hassel do that. Keep chasing. Don't give up on the play. Get a hand up in his face and make him take a tough shot.
As Sacramento from the free throw line, 3 of 8. Here comes Divac back in the game for Miller. Minnesota from the free throw line, 6 of 7. So that has worked well for the Timberwolves to, at the very least, stay abreast of the Kings at the line. Maybe with all 7 of his points in this second quarter.
Psychologically, for Sacramento, you want to keep this lead under double digits.
Garnett has not scored from the field in this quarter as Cassell takes it in, and a foul on the Kings. Inside and underneath, and Peja picks up his second foul. So here's the shooting of the big 3. Stojakovic is 1 of 7. Bibby is 2 of 7. Really, the only one answering the call is Chris Webber, 4 of 6. And here is Cassell at the free throw line for the Timberwolves.
Cassell got off to the great start. He slowed down a little bit in this second period. The game has slowed down. The defense has picked up. It's his first point this quarter. Hassel back in the game for defensive purposes, and Wally Szczerbiak tonight. It's Wally's world here in Minneapolis. A crowd favorite and playing very well.
10 points in 9 minutes for Szczerbiak, and Cassell with the game-high 13. Final 15 seconds of the half. Mike Bibby into Chris Webber and a Garnett foul.
What a great find there, Mike Bibby. It looked like he had nowhere to go. He was hung up. I thought he was going to force a shot. And at the last minute, he spotted Chris Webber underneath the basket. 3.9 seconds, still a lot of time, though. So after these free throws, Sacramento's got to make sure they get back on defense.
Webber 76% from the line in this series. Webber now is 0 of 2 from the stripe. He has a Kings-high 8 points and a timeout.
Well, Flip Saunders going to...
Minnesota has the top seed in the Western Conference, meaning as long as they're alive, they have home court. This is why it was so valuable to have that #1 seed. Ironically enough, in a late regular season win for the Timberwolves in Sacramento, they replaced the Kings in that #1 slot.
Well, and we know Sacramento finished the season horribly with some bad losses, so they dug a hole to put themselves in this position. Can they get out of it?
Darius Songaila has come in for the final 3.9 seconds with Chris Webber at the free throw line.
Wally Szczerbiak is checked back in for offensive purposes.
Webber 0 of 3. And Trent takes us to halftime.
That's a downer for Sacramento. Chris Webber walks up, misses 2 free throws at the end of the half. The lead stays at 10, double digits. Instead of getting it under 10 to 8, the 2 big misses, even though it's just halftime, psychologically going in, that's a downer.
Let's go to Cheryl Miller.
Sam Cassell, obviously, this is a Sacramento team more than capable of going on runs. Talk about the defense in the first half.
Well, once we know we can stop this team scoring offensively, our offense will come. But the key to beating this team is stopping them defensively. They got streaky shooters, guys who can make a lot of shots, but we just got to continue to play the way we've been playing. We'll win the game.
You know, despite your sore back, you got off to a quick start. How do you keep it loose for the second half?
You tell me. I don't know. So we got
Come on, old man. You got to come up with the answer.
High-priced doctors, so I don't know what they're going to do to me.
You can always take a shot.
No.
right, good luck in the second half. Let's send it back to you.
Cheryl, thank you very much. We will send you to Cheryl right now.
Thanks a lot, Kevin and Coach. In 24 minutes, Peja Stojakovic is 1 for 7, and out of those 7 shots, he had 6 shots contested. 2 shots were blocked by Kevin Garnett in the paint, so he really only had 1 open look. Now, his game is so similar, just to mention a few of the players in the league, New Jersey's Richard Hamilton, and I give my own little brother, Reggie Miller. In terms of movement without the ball, these guys use up so much energy, plus you throw in the fact that this has been such a grueling series. Coach, my question to you, how much is fatigue going to be an issue for Peja in the second half?
Well, Cheryl, the one thing that Minnesota can do, they can throw 3 different defenders, even 4 different defenders at him, and keep a fresh body on him all the time. They start out with Hassel, they can come in with Hoiberg, they can play Zerbiak on him, they can put Sprewell on him. But right now, he's got to put fatigue in the back of his mind. Charles talked about it. He was 3rd in the MVP voting, and he has to step up. This is Game 7. Put that in the background and start making shots.
So you've seen our Chrysler game summary, and here we go, beginning the second half. Bibi Stojakovic with Hassel with the defense, and a big way to start for the Sacramento Kings.
Well, they screened for him. They set a double screen that time, and I don't think Sacramento's been doing a good job screening. Their big men have to go down and headhunt and free him open for shots.
Kings have hit 4 threes, and Sprewell answers at the other end with 2. And Sprewell now with 7. Let's set the lineups. Divac, Christie, Weber, Bibi, and Stojakovic with the ball. That's for Sacramento. Garnett is on Weber. Hassel with Johnson, Cassell out there. And Sprewell, the Minnesota 5, and 2 more for the Kings. And inside, it's Weber, who is 5 of 7.
Well, good execution. They get a screen roll layup, and they get a nice double screen for Stojakovic and get a 3. 5 quick points.
Rebound by Mike Bibby. The Kings have never led. Minnesota's biggest lead has been 13. And Weber thinking about 3. And Divac uncovered with Stojakovic providing some interference down low.
And Flip Saunders here is not going to watch much more of this. If he doesn't get a score on this possession, Sacramento does, he's going to have to take a timeout. All that hard work they did in the first half has been cut in half in a minute and a half.
All that hard work in the season. And this is the 7th game. It's either a season that ends or extends. Sprewell for 3. And a rebound by Weber, who keeps his balance and saves it. And Weber now with 5 rebounds. Stojakovic in this game 7, hitting his first offering in the second half. The winner of this game plays the Los Angeles Lakers. Sprewell at the other end.
And the foul. That's how fragile it is for Sacramento when you're playing uphill. Stojakovic misses a jumper that would cut it to 3. And this is what Sprewell has done in games 5 and 6. He has put his head down and he's attacked the front of that rim and given them great energy. And see, he's one of the few guys on this team that goes to the basket. This is a jump shooting team.
And that's why they got him in the offseason.
And when he does that, he gives them a different look to their attack that they don't have without him.
Mike Bibby just picked up his 3rd foul. And Bibby is 2 of 7. Weber over Kevin Garnett. And Divac with the offensive rebound, had the ball slapped away. Cassell was in there defending, and Sam picks up his first.
The importance now of knocking down free throws. 4 of 11 for Sacramento in the first half. They missed 7 free throws. This is a team that shot over 80% in the regular season. And in big games, free throws come to the forefront. Kevin, when they lost that heartbreaking game to the Lakers, game 7 at home, they missed 14 of 30 free throws and lost an overtime game. That free throw line is so vital in close, low-scoring games when the pressure is on. And there you see the numbers. They were 2 of 20 from the three-point line and missed 14 free throws. That will not get it done in a big game.
Divac is 3 of 4 from the stripe, and the Kings as a team 6 of 13. Taking 3 more attempts than the Timberwolves tonight. Sprewell with a lot of purple around him, nonetheless gets it in.
Again, that slashing move in the lane. Sprewell got off to a slow start shooting the basketball. He was 2 for 8 at the half. Has hit 2 baskets here to push Sacramento Back to a 7-point deficit.
The winner in this game, 7 advances. So far, leading scorer Sam Cassell. Timberwolves have never trailed. Christie for 3. And a couple of threes by the Kings, who trailed by 10 at halftime. Now they're within 4 points with 3 minutes gone in the third quarter. Cassell playing with the bad back, and Garnett held by Weber. No call made. Even Divac gave a little bump, and still no call, but the MVP's got 11.
Well, his ability to go up and hold that ball in one hand and run and go away from the defense.
Weber with Johnson on him. Johnson with the steal. And 9 Kings turnovers, 7 for Minnesota. Sprewell.
Open court plays. Latrell Sprewell.
It's Bibby. And Christie comes up with it, and Doug Christie continues to shoot well, 50% from the field, and a Sacramento 12 points.
He's keeping him in the game. He's hit a couple threes. When they get off the cold start, he's the only one making any shots.
Quick trap on Cassell, and Garnett against Divac, and a foul on Vlade. That's number 1 on him.
Kevin Garnett, watch how his ability to get up and extend. Look at the extension. And then on the way down, just softly flips the ball at the basket. And then Latrell Sprewell follows him. 3 quick baskets here. 2 slashing in the open court, 1 in the half-court game. So he's gotten off to a good start here after a slow first half.
We may have had some nervous energy to begin the game as Garnett puts up a beauty inside. And Minnesota is back up by 8. We may have had some nervous energy to begin the game, but to begin the second half, it has been a race.
Well, it gets down after about the first 5 minutes to who can execute the best. And right now, that's Minnesota.
And Weber inside. Rebound by Kevin Garnett. He gets his 14th. The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 8 to begin the second half. Hassel. Divac with the rebound.
See, Chris Webber just does not have the ability to finish at the basket anymore. He used to be such a powerful athletic player. Now he has to finger roll and flip those shots, and he misses a lot of easy shots around the basket, Kevin.
Stojakovic had it knocked away. Do you sense that Weber is playing within the offensive schemes of Sacramento tonight?
I've sensed here in the third quarter a couple times right now where Sacramento's starting to go one-on-one. That will not get it done for them. Weber one-on-one, Stojakovic. This is a team. This is a team that depends on each other.
Doug, numbers can tell the story, and the Timberwolves right now with the lead, as they have had all game long. Here are some things that you've been watching.
Well, one of the things that Minnesota's done is they've taken away Sacramento's layups. That was one of their goals, take away their easy scores. They've made them a three-point shooting team. So Sacramento's made 4 more three-pointers, but Minnesota winning every other battle. And so what they've tried to do, take away the layups, make them shoot jumpers, contest them, get a hand in the face, and they think they'll win the series.
And Doug, the Kings are averaging about 11 fast break points per game in this series. Not a single fast break Sacramento point tonight. It's Weber for 2. Cassell with the rebound. And Garnett with Divac and Stojakovic there.
It's a mismatch there. Vlade is going to try to keep his body in front of him, but normally you get help, and that time Garnett spun away from the double team and was one-on-one with Vlade. That's a no contest.
It's Bibby, 2 of 7. Rejected by Kevin Garnett. Shot clock at 10. Christie, Bibby for 3. Good! And the Kings have gone 6 of 11 above the arc. Minnesota 1 of 5.
And they're hanging around. I mean, it's only a 7-point game. But if you watch this game, it almost feels like Minnesota should be up by 20.
It's Garnett and Sprewell accounting for all of the third quarter points for the Timberwolves. A mismatch with Bibby on Garnett. Sprewell around Weber. And Garnett with the rebound. He's got 15.
The will to win. Kevin Garnett, he was so disappointed in his game 1 effort here when he was 6 of 21. Played out of character. Sacramento won the game, and tonight just working feverishly in that lane. The block shot, we saw the score, the offensive rebound, and this is what we showed in our open. This passion and this energy, that's what his team feeds off of him. They know he's their best player, and when he leads, they follow.
And Kevin Garnett knocks in his 16th point. He's got 2 block shots, 3 fouls on Stojakovic. You just saw Kevin McHale, the architect of this team, and a guy who finished second to Jerry West, the